What's going on, y'all? It's your girl Shauna Speaks to Inspire, and this is the Male and Female Perspective Podcast. And I'm here with my host, Just Comply.
What's going on, Sean? How you doing today?
We doing great, Comply. Good to see you.
Likewise. Always good to see you.
Tonight, y'all, we got a hot topic. Yes, tonight you get to meet the host. You get to find out some real juicy things on these two people on that's before you. So, like you know what we do. Let's go.
Let's get it.
What's going on? What's going on? This is the Male Female Perspective Podcast, and I'm your host, Shauna Speaks to Inspire, and I'm here with my co-host, Just Comply. What's good?
Yeah, I'm good. How you doing? How was your day?
It was great. I worked last
Good.
night, and I'm tired. I'm
I get
tired.
it.
But we here, right? We are
The life
here.
of the third shifters.
The life of the third shifters, the depleted cadence. Cadence is
What is
off.
that? What is that?
What is that?
Cadence for us?
We don't have that.
Right.
We all off. Breakfast is dinner and dinner's breakfast.
Amen.
Oh my gosh. So tonight, y'all, this is the Male Female Perspective Podcast, and I have a new host, as you can see. Yes, I have a new host. And I thought it would not be robbery to come on today and introduce him and also reintroduce myself, because this is a new year, new purpose, new things. This podcast is all things relationship, trending topics. We take viral videos and turn them into life lessons, and we are doing what everybody don't want us to do. We're bridging the gap between the two genders, the male and female, coming up with our own perspective, hoping that we could come to a resolve with this fight between the male and females that's going on in the world today. And I'm tired of it.
No, that's right. Enough is enough.
Enough is enough. So Comply. Please tell the people a little bit about yourself.
A little bit about myself.
Just a little bit.
So
Just a little bit.
born and raised South Bronx, New York. And that's why you see the
Yes.
fitted. You know
Got
what
to
I'm
fit it
saying?
on.
Because I gotta represent this. Ain't I tell anybody, this ain't just a style. This is a life. You know.
Life.
Um, so I'm from South Bronx, New York. I currently reside in Virginia. Father of three. Uh,
Oh,
you
three.
know,
Oh,
yeah.
snap. I just thought you had one. See,
Three.
I'm learning, y'all. I didn't even know. I
See?
thought he had this one
Yeah.
beautiful daughter. Look at him.
Nah, father three. My other two grown.
Oh, grown.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Out the house. Empty nesting.
You know what I mean? And one,
That's good.
one down, one left to
One,
go.
that's it. Get him out the nest. I know. I
you
only
know,
got one. He out.
yeah. Um, I work for the DC government. Um, I I'm a travel business owner. So I do a
Entrepreneur,
little
y'all. You hear that?
do a little
Little,
dibble and
little
dabble here and
dabbling.
there.
That's right. Yeah, we entrepreneurs out
Anything
here. We ain't
travel related.
playing.
We ain't playing them
We ain't
games.
playing.
There's money to be made.
Right. We got
No
passports out here.
excuses. You know what
No
I'm saying?
excuses.
I'm
No
trying to put.
excuses.
I'm trying to get folks to put stamps on them passports. You know what I
Right. I
mean?
need I need I need two passports so I get the other one out of here. Right. Shoot, we
you
not
know,
playing. We grown out here.
we grown out here. I'm trying to
Yeah.
tell you.
Well, I am so
How about
happy.
yourself?
I'm good. I'm so happy to have you finally. You don't even know y'all how long we've been trying to
Yo,
do this, right, Kabla? We've been
we
trying
ain't
to
even
do
gonna keep.
this. We've been really, really trying to do this, and we are finally doing it.
We here
So
now.
we here now. So y'all know Shauna Speaks to Comply. Shauna Speaks to Comply. I don't know what's going on. Maybe that's a new podcast. My name is Shauna Speaks, motivational speaker, best-selling author of Queen with a Damaged Crown, and I'm also a mindset life coach. You also know, also me, I work for the government too. I work for the New York City Fire Department. I am also from Brooklyn. We are from the boroughs. The
The
BBs
borough.
on the BBs,
Yeah.
Brooklyn and the Bronx. One child, grown. My grandma, three, three little
Mm.
boys and everything. And I'm a lover of helping people and basically trying to, like I said, trying to resolve, right? You hear
Yeah.
all these podcasts and all they're doing is stirring up controversy and more division amongst the men and women. And when I've been had the podcast started and I was just, basically interviewing different, I had my other best friend I was doing the podcast with, and and
Hmm.
then life happens and people, they merge and do other things, which is
Right.
fine. El Boogie, if you're listening, thank you for your first half. And
Mm.
so I was on TikTok. That's when me and Comply met on TikTok, and I was like, heard him speaking. I'm like, yo, I think he'll be good for the show. So now y'all get to hear him and tell us what you think. And the rest is history, basically.
The rest is history. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say too much on myself because I wanted y'all to meet him. Y'all know, I've been doing this for like 2 years now, so definitely I just wanted this my boy to rock out and just talk and let's just rock out today.
Show you right. It was my pleasure. Especially when you offered this opportunity to me. I've never done a podcast before,
Right.
and other people had asked me, if I would do a podcast, and I'm not shy per se, but I'm
Mm-hmm.
selective. You know what I mean? I'm
That part.
selective about who I deal with, who I give my energy to, who
Exactly.
I take energy from, or whatever. So after being on a couple of lives with you on TikTok and
Mm-hmm.
listen to you speak or whatever, I was like, you know what? When once you broached me with that conversation, I was like, yeah, I'm with it, even though it took us a minute to get here because
Yeah. Circumstances.
life be
Right.
lifing,
Life be
but
life and real or bad. Real bad.
but we here now,
We here
we
finally. Yeah.
yeah, definitely. And I'm like you, like I like helping folks. Like what's the for me is a jewel is not valuable if I keep it in my possession. You know what I
Ooh,
mean?
I like that.
A,
Y'all heard
a
that,
jewel
y'all?
is more
Say that
valuable when I
again.
share it. A jewel is not
Ooh.
valuable if I keep it in my possession because it may be valuable to me because of sentimental reasons, but
Right.
it's more valuable when it's shared. You know
Right.
what I
Or
mean?
give it to
That
the
that's
right
when you
person.
yeah,
Yeah.
when you give it to the right people. So
Mm-hmm.
for me, I just like that's one of my things. That's one of my things that I just enjoy, and I
Okay.
found my niche, as far as
Right.
to, because me, I keep it 1,000,
Yeah, you
you
do.
know,
You do.
and
That's one thing.
and I
And you're not.
ruffle feathers,
Yep.
and,
That's
but
what
it
I.
is
That's
what
why
it
it
is.
is what it is, and that's what drew me to you is because like you get on here and then y'all got all these words. I'm so tired of these words that y'all just make up because y'all uncomfortable with people that don't follow your train. You want to
Hmm.
be a panda, pandering. You will pick me. What else? You a
Hmm.
simp. All these stupid words is
Right.
annoying. They mean
Right.
nothing. They're just a narcissistic or somebody that's bored to sit there and say,
Hmm.
you know what? I don't like what they're talking about because they're talking about me. So I'm gonna make a
Hmm.
word up. So now when the people do speak, and
Hmm.
it's our culture that does that, right? They
Yeah.
they got words that they speaking, and it doesn't make sense. And half the words they're saying it's not even the right definition.
I tell
So,
you this,
you
Sean.
know, oh my
I tell you
goodness.
this.
I know we get on
Um,
topic, but let it
hey,
roll.
look, and let's rock with
Let
it.
it rock.
Um, Malcolm X said,
Mm-hmm.
when you throw a rock in a pack of dogs, only
Right.
the hit dog will holler.
Hit dog will holler.
So if you throw a rock at me by saying I'm a simp or whatever else like that, if I don't respond to it, then who's the hit dog? You know what I mean?
Right.
Like
Right.
you when I say certain things and it affect you a certain type of way and then you got to respond to me, you're the hit dog.
You're the hit
Because
dog.
you know what I mean.
I agree.
So,
Yeah.
it's a lot of hurt folks out here, and they don't want to just recognize
No,
themselves for being the hurt person here
not
they
at all.
are. Um, And that's the problem that I find in a lot of these different um, lives and different
Yeah.
situations and different conversations that I have with different people is that it's just a lot of hurt folks out here that just
Yes.
don't know how to just come down to the root of it and say, I'm hurt.
Right. But so they lash out instead of
So they
saying it.
lash out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I say all that to say is that he doesn't follow that train, right?
No.
He tells the truth. And I stand for truth. I'm not pro woman or con man. I'm
Right.
truth. So if a woman is doing something that's not right or taking advantage of men, I'm gonna speak on it. If a man is not doing right by a woman, I'm gonna speak on it. And I don't
Right.
and I don't care about being. I was born by myself, so it doesn't matter to me. And the fact of once you get to that place, you're going to
Mm-hmm.
like ruffle some feathers.
Mm-hmm.
People either gonna love you or hate you, and I'm fine either way. And I can
Right.
say that most of the people that are in my life that's supposed to be there, they love me, and those that
Right.
are not, then so sorry for you, but I'm still gonna be
Right.
me. So
Your
this was the
loss.
right. So this was the perfect podcast because all you hear is my perspective, and then people are actually getting butt hurt off of people's perspective.
Mm-hmm.
um Two things is the truth: wisdom, knowledge, and facts, right? And
Mm-hmm.
research. And if you're
Mm-hmm.
not coming with none of them, then everything else is just your opinion. Why are you upset?
Right.
Right? Unless again, like he said, I told somebody the other day, if you don't know who you are and what you're called by, then somebody's gonna tell you who you are, and they're gonna call you what you want. And if you
They
answer
call you.
to it,
Yeah.
then that must be who you
That's
are.
that's who you are.
If
Yeah.
somebody call me right now and say Tanya, I ain't turning around. That's not my name. Right? If
Right.
they might say Shawan, I might turn around because of SHA. But if they looking at me and I don't know you, then I'm not gonna answer. So what you
Mm-hmm.
answer by is the problem out here. But
Yeah.
yeah, I digress.
Yeah, I agree with you 1,000%. And so it's it's easy nowadays to just put words to stuff.
Yeah, yeah,
There's a lot of words out here that this is this and this is that and this is this, and so
yes.
and then it becomes hot topics and trends
Hot
and things of
topics,
that.
right?
You know,
Exactly.
and I'm a person. I'm like, look, what are we doing? Are we living in fantasy or are we living in reality?
Are we living in
Because
reality?
if
Exactly.
we living in reality, then we know that in reality there's a whole lot of black and white, but there's a much more area of gray. And
That's
we
right.
going to live in some of that gray area,
Yeah.
because it's never just this or just that.
Right.
There's real things that happen to real people out here.
Right. But unfortunately, it seems to be to me. Let me little not push back, but sometimes I feel like they're living more in gray because they're unstable. They don't really have a real opinion, right?
Hmm.
They don't want to make somebody mad, or they don't want
Right.
to, or they're afraid to stand out like we're doing, and then
Hmm.
they stay in the gray. It's I mean
Hmm.
sometimes things are not like you said black and white,
Yeah.
right? Or hot,
Hmm.
like the Bible say you either hot or cold, or if you lukewarm, I'm gonna spit you out. And I
Hmm.
think a lot of people are walking around here lukewarm, and it's showing,
Yeah,
and there's
but
no
you know what?
respect
I
to it.
think that's more safe. It's a more safe environment in the lukewarm area.
Is
You know
it?
what I mean?
Is it?
Yeah, I mean, for certain people,
Mm.
some people. Cause
Mm.
see, when you out there, when you in the cold
Mm-hmm.
or when you're in the hot, if your skin ain't tough enough,
Right.
you know what I mean? You'll come apart.
Yeah, yeah,
Like if you
I
get too
understand.
far out there cold or too far out there hot, and you ain't got the skin
Mhm.
type to deal with that,
Yeah.
well then you'll come apart. So it's best for you to stay over there in that lukewarm area because you
But
there's
where's the
there's
growth
short.
at though? Where's the growth?
eh, Not everybody. To be honest, not everybody is made to grow. Like their
Complacency is
growth is
real.
what there it is. Some people are made to stand in
Oh
place, and
my gosh.
that sounds horrible, but
Very horrible.
there is stagnation so many different places. You can
Yeah.
see it. Like some people are stagnant in their mental. Some people are stagnant in their spiritual. Some people are
Yeah.
stagnant emotionally. Some people are stagnant physically. It's just what it is. I mean,
For
not
them.
everybody
Cause
gets to
I don't
grow.
like it.
Not
you
everybody
know?
gets to grow.
Yeah.
That's the
I mean,
unfortunate part.
but isn't it but I believe that there is actually a place to grow, but you have to be willing to do the work,
Yeah.
right? Because believe me,
And
as much as I do talk, I get anxiety every time I have to speak, or with with my girls group, or even come on here.
mm-hmm.
It's not easy, but you go, what is the bigger purpose and what's the bigger picture? And
Right.
then 9 times out of 10, it's not really about me. It's getting the message across, because we always know that there's somebody going through. And then the job that we do,
Mm-hmm.
especially me working in the medical field, I hear calls and see people every day in dire need.
Right.
And you can you don't get to save everybody, but my motto is,
Right.
if I get, and for me, for me as a life coach, I say, if I could just get one person to change,
Mm-hmm.
and save one person, I've done my job,
Right.
right? Because people, listen, there are people that actually are scared to go to, like, coaches and therapy, and seek that type of help, that they usually seek TikTok doctors and Facebook doctors and
Yeah.
Instagram doctors, right? But
Yeah.
I tell everybody, you have to be very careful of who you allow to speak into your life, into your ear gates and your eye gates. And even us, if we say something, call us out, because at the end of the day, we're not trying to make nobody worse. We're trying to make you better.
Yeah.
And I realized that if we could just get somebody or some people on board, the lies, what is it? Lies grow faster than the truth, right? People
Mm-hmm.
love the lies.
Good.
People love the controversy. But we here
Yeah.
like you said, to bridge the gaps between the man and woman.
Yeah. Because lies are like weeds. They need minimal nutrients and stuff like that. When you want the
Right.
flowers or whatever, you got to put some work
Put
into it.
some
You know
work
what I
in,
mean?
right? You got to till that
You know?
ground and get that soil
Yeah.
right. Because
Right.
weeds can grow
Right.
out of dryness.
Right. They
You
can
see the
they
desert,
can grow right out of the doggone
cactuses. Come
concrete.
on,
You know what I
right,
mean? So
right.
you know. So
If you get a
I
rose out of
agree.
that concrete, that's a great accomplishment.
Right. Right. That's a
Uh,
rarity in
what?
itself.
That's very rare.
But
Exactly.
yeah,
Exactly.
that I agree. Like there's so many different times where you know, and this is just going down into my personal life now.
Yeah.
As we're getting people to know about me.
Right.
One of the things that I had to do, because I can't sit here and say that I was always this respectable, person that
Yeah.
now, has, his life together, whatever. I had to go
Yeah.
through some things, you know what I mean? I
Some
had to
lot of
make
things,
some,
right?
a whole lot of errors.
Right.
I struck out a whole lot, before
Thank
I
God you're not
started.
in the baseball, right?
You get what I'm saying? Like,
Well,
they
you
would
get
have cut
nine
me.
innings. Those
They,
all
they
right. You can strike out, but you got 9 innings. It's okay.
they would have cut me. You know what I mean? They'd have kicked
Exactly,
me straight
right?
off the
Oh my
team. But
gosh.
God saw fit for me to
Amen.
be here, and
Right.
then not only do I get to be here, but then I am actually a resource
Okay.
um, to my people. And I'm
Right.
really big on my folks.
Our people.
Like
That's right.
my people.
Our people. That's
Um,
right. I know exactly what
I,
you're
I,
saying too.
I, and so, one of the things that one of the things that I am really big on is that I don't put fluff on anything. Like the truth is the truth.
The
You
truth
you
is
can
the truth.
argue with whatever you want to, but the truth is the truth. You don't have to like it, but
Exactly.
if it's the truth, let it hit you where it may. It
That's
can
right.
help you.
It
Like
can.
I,
That's right.
there's nothing negative that can come from sitting and absorbing the truth
Exactly. I
and
agree.
then applying it.
Right.
Like um, you and I were talking not too long ago um, about one of my biggest pet peeves right now, and
Oh,
that's the the word trigger. Like
right. Right.
it came up the other day, and I was just like, look, everybody has triggers. Every
Right.
single person in this world's got triggers.
Right. But
You know,
you're not going to hold me hostage against your
but
triggers though.
but you're not gonna hold
You're
me
not going to hold
hostage
me
to your
hostage against your
triggers.
triggers. Not going to do that. Not going to
Like,
do that. Mm-mm.
what do you
No.
do with that?
No,
With that
ma'am.
knowledge of
Mm-mm.
you know what, this now triggers me. With that
Right.
knowledge of
Right.
that,
I become the
what do
bad
you do with
person
it?
and I didn't do anything. Right. So
Right.
so I put my little life coach hat on, right? So I say that, triggers are a warning sign for something that that happened in your past, right? It's
Mm-hmm.
like it's like okay, you on this road and you know that eventually you're gonna have a stop sign,
Mm-hmm.
not a red light, but a stop sign. Because a red
Mm-hmm.
light you have to wait until it turns green to
Turns.
go. A stop
Mm-hmm.
sign you stop, look for danger or look for another car coming, and then you proceed with caution.
Mm-hmm.
That's what a trigger is. It's something to go, hey, oh snap, remember this happening? Wait, but is this happening right now?
Mm-hmm.
So if it's not the person that's in front of you, if it's not the place that you are at, and it's not the same emotion that it caused you when it happened, then you pull yourself at the stop sign, you stop, you look, and then you proceed with caution. Now, if it's too much to bear because the person is triggering you so much and it's not them, then you retreat and then you come back to another day after you sit with yourself and figure out
Mm-hmm.
why is this triggering keeps happening, because it's a healing process. So if you
Right.
keep getting triggered, that means that you need to go talk to somebody
You need to
because
go sit down.
you don't
Yep.
have no control over this trigger, and you can't be fully invested in this person that you say is triggering you. Now
Right.
it's two different things. Is the trigger happening because this person may be narcissistic, or or just toxic, or is it a
Mm-hmm.
trigger because you're not healed? So that's what I
Mm-hmm.
always tell my people, like that's what we have to be careful about, and stop throwing your triggers on, like you said, other people. Like I'm not going to
Right.
suffer because and it's like boundaries and triggers, like they try to be interchangeable and they're not.
They're not.
Like
They're
remember I
not.
tell you about, but the guy told me this is his boundary because he wanted to keep the girl out the club, but that was a toxic behavior. Like your
Right.
boundary don't stop me from doing something I want to do for myself. It
Right.
stops me from overstepping you
Mm-hmm.
and your
And we.
uncomfortability, right?
Right.
So
Yeah.
yeah, so that's another thing. But yeah, triggers. I'm triggered by
and
triggers.
that part, like,
I'm triggered by triggers. What? Take your hand off the
that
gun then. What are you
you
doing?
know, like, what are you doing?
What's
You
really
know,
going on here?
and it's funny that you use that example because if you are if you're so quote unquote triggered
Right.
that you can't move forward with caution,
Mm.
then you definitely need to get out the car. And
And
you
let
need
somebody
to, like that, like you don't need to be behind the wheel.
right.
Like if you
Right.
can,
Call AAA.
like
Somebody come help.
come, somebody come get
Somebody
me.
put OnStar. Hello. Yes, this is OnStar. Can I help you? I'm at the side of the road at the stop sign, and I don't know how to proceed. I need help.
Right. I need help. Like,
I need
and
help.
and I mean, we joke or whatever, but that's really
But
what it is.
yeah.
That's really what it
Sometimes you gotta,
is.
but sometimes you just gotta put jokes in there because these, like I
Yeah.
said again, it go right back. These people use these words and they run with it, and
They
nobody
run.
pick up a thesaurus or a dictionary to go, hey, let me see what this word really mean.
Right.
Right? People say
Yeah.
trauma bond and don't even know what trauma bonding is. It don't got nothing to
Don't know the
do
difference.
with
It
us. It has something to do with somebody being kidnapped or kept for years, and now they attached to their
I
victimizer
never I never thought I would hear someone equating Stockholm syndrome with empathy.
with empathy. Thank
You know
you.
what I
That's
mean?
the bigger word, Stockholm syndrome. What is going on in this world? What? And when you in
Like,
psychology and you a life coach and you go, this ain't it.
that's not even the
And they like,
same
yeah, because
thing.
y'all got together because of trauma bond. Y'all met at the funeral, huh? No,
No, that,
it's sympathy.
that's sympathy and empathy that happened at that
You don't
funeral,
remember
not
Boys in the
trauma
Hood when he
bonding.
came in the door
Like,
fighting?
right.
That ain't
Because he
trauma
was
bond. What's going on? I'm triggered by your trauma bond. Okay, this is gonna be. I'm elevated today. I'm I'm tired. This gotta stop.
I was
Trauma.
trying to
Look the
tell you.
words up before you start jumping, and everything is not a proper slang, right? Because then you can't
Hmm.
find it in the real dictionary. Because Webster gonna embarrass you. So
Right.
go over here to the Urban Dictionary, and it still don't make no sense.
Right. Right.
Then it now men are pandering. That's another word they use, right? Pandering and pick me. Pick
So
me?
I've heard pick me from the female. I've heard females calling other females pick me's.
Yeah, yeah. I
What
would be a
is
pick me. If I
okay?
get on a live full of women that's going after men, oh, men is this
Uh
and
huh.
da 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 da, like the soft girl era, and I
Uh
go
huh.
in there with a perspective of saying, well, you're delusional,
Mhm.
You ever thought it from this point of view? This man feeling this way, blah 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 blah. They'll say that I'm want to be picked by y'all guys because I'm on your side. Because everything I say out my
Mm.
mouth is pertaining to the men's side and not the woman's side. So now I'm a pick me because I'm going against the woman's sisterhood or whatever.
Okay,
And
so
then
then
I
the
think,
question, my
mm-hmm,
question to them would be, well, unless you flow like that, unless you are on the same team that type of way or whatever, isn't that what you isn't that what you want? Isn't that something that you would want a guy to choose you? Like the
yeah, you think, but again, but here we go, hit door holler, right? Because
head doors holler.
I'm awoken, and
Mm-hmm.
because and it's very rare for women to be emotional intelligence because we strive on
Mm-hmm.
emotion. So when I'm coming out with logic, right, and
Mm-hmm.
making you think, right now, oh, what you don't want, I've had clients sit in front of me and get mad when they go in, oh, he did this, and I go, but did you do this? Did you
Mm-hmm.
think about it this way? Oh, he didn't answer his phone. Oh, well, do you know if he was asleep? I know he wasn't sleeping. You got a crystal ball? Pushback. How do you know? How do you know?
Right.
Cognitive thinking is out the window. So
Mm-hmm.
with me being a mindset coach, I teach cognitive thinking and how to become emotionally intelligent so you can be able to rock with your man or with somebody so you don't always everything's not emotions. I know, I know,
Mm-hmm.
I know. You don't.
Mm-hmm.
And then guess what? Even if you say he cheating and then you find out that he actually is cheating, you didn't know that was 50-50.
Mm-hmm.
You really
Right.
didn't know. Oh,
Right.
then you get mad at me when I say that. It's really 50-50. So it could have went either. So what would you have said if you found out that he wasn't cheating? Would
Right.
you still have the
Right.
same energy? Would you
Would
go
you have
back
the
and
same energy?
apologize? So
Right.
yeah, so it's the pushback,
Right.
and that's again ruffling feathers. Like when we get on our lives and the women going in, you know I'm quiet
Mm-hmm.
because what I'm about to say they're not gonna like.
Right.
It's not my job to make you feel comfortable. It's my job to make you feel uncomfortable and get out of your stagnant area and move to greater.
Yeah. There's
So
nothing. There's nothing. Nothing better. Nothing. There's nothing better than a cool drink after a hot day. So,
oh,
but if that cool drink is stagnant, it's not going to taste the same.
it's not. And that
You
goes
know what I
back to the
mean?
lukewarm. You're gonna spit it
And it
out. See
and there it
how it
is.
ties in. That's it right there. That's exactly
As
it right there.
That's why, for me, I'm of the mindset always that this might not be received well.
Right.
I get it.
It's okay.
It's
It's
okay.
okay. You'll be all right.
You
It's
know,
okay. It's all
I'm
right.
gonna give it to you respectfully, though.
Respectfully.
I'm not going to cuss and do all of that stuff because that's not
It's
who
no
I
need.
am. I don't have to do that.
Nope.
That's you know,
Mm-mm.
if that's your flavor, or whatever it's like that, then I won't probably ever approach a person
Mm-hmm.
that's their flavor like that because that's not who I am.
That's
Like
not
I've been
exactly.
down that road before when you're shouting
Mm-hmm.
just to hear each other shout, but you're not hearing the words that are being spoken.
Right. That's
You're
the
only
worst.
transferring energy to each
That's
other.
the worst type of argument to have
Yeah,
because everybody
yeah,
is blurting out their words, but nobody's listening. My godfather always says like we could sing together, but we can't talk at the same time. Right, singing
true.
is unison. You can harmonize, but when you talk,
Hmm.
it's you discombobulate. You're not gonna get nothing out. So everybody wants to be right, and that's what I think is going on right now in our culture, especially
Yeah.
in social media. And men are tired, women been tired, but now they're acting out, and now a
Hmm.
lot of this new generation think they're entitled to everything and don't
Right.
have to put
Right.
in no work because this new generation don't want to work. They don't want, our jobs is considered low vibrational according to them.
Right.
Right,
If
this
they
now
only
what we
knew.
doing right now, the podcast. Oh yeah, that's where it's at. But us going
Right.
going to a 9 to 5 or doing 12, 13, 16 hours a day. Oh no, that's low. That's low vibrate. That's beneath them. They
Hmm.
don't want to. They said I heard a girl say they don't want a guy that works a 9 to 5. They rather date a scammer.
Mm.
I knew this generation was doomed when I heard that.
Hmm.
So you rather date
That's
a guy that have potential to go to jail and you never have him again
right.
versus a
That's
man that can come home
rough.
every day with a pension and a guaranteed check. and life insurance and good
That's
benefits over a
man.
scammer. The one that runs in there and take all the bags out of all of these high end stores. That's what you. That's what you want. So you want to walk around here with a Birkin, but you living in a studio. I don't get it. I'm not understanding.
And you only you're not even guaranteed a certain way of life with that because it's because after a while, with this day and time with technology available on every street corner, whatever, and cameras
Exactly.
everywhere,
Everywhere,
whatever. So,
zooming in on you, and even
you
know.
know what I mean? Like you not
Big brother
guaranteed a
always
life.
watching,
Always watching.
guaranteed. And then if you
Yeah.
and then when you taking these, you scamming and and using people's credit cards and taking these high end bags, you can't even sell the bag for what it's really worth. So you take a
Correct.
$3,000 bag, and then you gonna sell it for $400 if somebody paid it, if they believe it's real. So you
Right.
still not giving, you still not getting the worth of it. So now, so
Uh,
how, so what is $400 when somebody's a guaranteed a $3,000 $4,000 weekly check?
But
I
I
don't know
tell
what
you
they
what.
think these government and city jobs make. I don't know, but in
But
New
I tell
York,
you what. I tell you one thing though. You may sell it for less, but if they catch you, they
oh,
gonna give you all of that
all of that time, and you're gonna have to, and you're gonna pay for the bag.
that restitution. You gonna pay
What
all of that whole
if you have
cost.
5 bags in their hand and they want to round it off to $3,000? That you are $15,000 in the hole plus. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
what are you doing?
Right.
What are you
Or
doing?
because you could have sold a $300 or $400. Okay. All right.
Okay, no problem. Just to get your
Makes
next
sense.
whatever.
Makes
I don't
sense to
know.
you.
Yeah, I
I go
see
ahead and
now.
I'll go right. I walk right past you and go to my 9 to 5.
Thank you. Right, looking at you with your handcuffs. Right, free. I'm free.
Right. Look at you on the T-shirt. You know.
Right, that's crazy and that's sad.
That's
Now,
crazy.
now the other partakers, the other side of the tracks,
Hmm.
they're doing. We're taking bags, right? They over
Hmm.
here going to Home Depot and Walmart, filling up their carts and walking right out the door because Walmart and Home Depot and Lowe's policy is do not stop them, don't touch them, don't say nothing. So
Oh,
now, since the news decided to say that out loud, they
wow.
literally, and then there's some people going, F that, I'm still going to rock them and still
Wow.
grab it. But they literally, like, could you imagine? You just see a man walking around with plywood and saws and
Yeah.
doors and plants, compost, paint,
About to renovate his
and
whole house.
renovate, and then buy and go straight through checkout out the door.
Meanwhile, you sit there trying to give him your card.
Right. What?
I'd be
I'm like,
mad.
I'm like, sir, can you pick this up for me? Take it out the door while you going.
Can
Since
you
this
take my
right,
card with
since you don't want to steal and take my stuff, let me pay for
you?
the soil. What?
give me a pack of gum.
Right. Here go your 25 cents. 50. What? I saw that the other day. I couldn't believe it. I said, what is going on? I mean, the
That's
man just walked right out. Like,
but I,
and
but
the
I can
guy took it
understand
from
why
her and
they
he
have
turned.
that policy
Right, because they don't want nobody to get hurt and
because
liability,
they don't
but
want
come
nobody to
on.
get hurt and they got liability. Yep,
But
exactly.
who says that? Don't tell
But
that to
why
people.
publish that though? Yeah, yeah.
And the people are really doing it. They really doing it. I'm not fighting for nobody's plywood, but I get how
Yeah,
aggravating and the audacity that these people have to think that this is okay. And
yeah.
again, going to take all that stuff and sell it for the fraction of what they probably paid wholesale, if that.
And see what
Ridiculous.
I live. I told you I work in the D.C. area.
Okay.
I work from home now, but boy, when I used to ride the train, it used to bother my nerves because in DC they were they made it a law. They passed a law to say that that the Metro Police couldn't arrest people for jumping the turnstiles.
Oh,
So
okay.
once they made that a law, when I tell you like these jokers were jumping turnstiles like
Mm-hmm.
left and right, um, Meanwhile, I'm 6'7", 350, so I can't jump turnstiles. So I gotta
Right.
go through
Can't
with
pull
my
it through it,
car.
nothing.
You know
Oh my
what I'm
God.
saying? I gotta go through my car. Meanwhile, they jumping the
Hopping.
turnstile. You know what I mean? Left and right.
But
When I tell you left and
let's
right,
be real. Borough to borough, we've done this when we was kids.
yeah, we did it when we was
When
kids.
because we had the turnstile, you could fit through it. Now
Yeah,
you can't
right.
even go
Yeah,
under it.
I ain't right. I ain't got no
Remember the
choice.
door?
I
The door never was magnet. It was
never.
never
Yeah,
magnetic. You could just go right through the
yeah.
door.
Go right through the door.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So
Yeah.
yeah,
One time you went through the door, the cop was standing right there. We went right back out. We was like, I went back up the stairs. He was standing
right. Good
right
luck.
there in the little corner by the bathroom. He looked. He
Good
was
looking
like,
out.
"Oh, hey sir, just make a see if we're looking for my cousin."
Right.
He ain't really want to
Yeah.
bother nobody. It was a bunch of us. We gonna do chase and get one, but that was so fun. He was like, "Oh,
I'm
out."
trying. Look, I was, but Metro, Metro was on the news, and
Mm-hmm.
DC Metro was on the news, and it was like because that's the name of their train system is DC Metro. They was on
Okay.
the news, and they were like they lost. I think they sell $1.1 billion in revenue because of the change of the
Wow.
law, where they couldn't arrest folks for jumping the turnstile. Now they have built like these glass like
Oh,
um,
on the top that they open like
joint,
this,
yeah.
right?
On top
Yeah.
of it, they open up or whatever. Said that
Yeah.
now they've done it, and they've allowed if customers try to push through it or whatever else like that,
Mm-hmm.
they had the DC Metro Police there or whatever else like that, and
Oh,
now
so they still
they're
can push through
finding,
it, so they can
yeah, because it's like
manipulate it a little bit.
plexiglass.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
But you
it's
know how
not like
desperate you got to
regular
be to go through
glass.
all of that, because now you're gonna go
That
to jail
part right there.
for destruction. Now, come on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
Mm-mm. No.
But
No. No. Yeah. We got a lot of we got a lot of work to do. Comply.
yeah, yeah,
It's
and
gonna be a long ride.
it's sad because like the thing is that like I hear a lot of our people like around our age talk
Hmm.
about how bad this generation is. But if you listen to our parents talk
Right.
about our generation, they
Yeah.
used to say that we were worse than them, and the fact that,
That we
oh
had.
my god, especially if you live like, let's keep it a buck. We lived in the drug crack era. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah. It was bad.
We
It was
lived in the
bad.
boroughs,
The
so we
burrows,
know what was
literally.
going down. You
Right.
know what I mean? In the boroughs.
Like
You know
no
what I mean?
beavers.
Who would have thought that
In the
we would
dirt.
be sitting here 40 some years later? Because I mean, yo,
Out of
it
it.
was nothing to see the abandoned buildings and
What?
you know what I mean.
And we in there, no
Let-
nothing.
don't know
Walking
nothing,
over those needles and vials on
right?
the
And
street,
them valves in
everything
them in the
getting cut
street,
with
you know what I mean?
glass, man. Especially with
Like,
us wearing jellies, the little stupid sandals. Those things they
yeah,
protect us for nothing. Get home, your feet dirty like you ain't washed in 5 days.
like you ain't like you
What?
just went outside barefoot. You
Right.
know what I'm saying?
And everybody know you was outside and still call you dirty foot. What am I supposed to do? Wash my foot every 20 walks? Like
I'm trying to
what am I supposed to do?
look. I'm
You
trying to
said you
tell
did
you.
take a towel and you be like, let me get this real quick, cause
Let
might
me
bump
get
into
this
the
up
guy that
there.
I like on the corner. He's looking at my feet like she dirty. No, I just walked down the block on Eastern Parkway. Right here.
But
I'm clean, I
that's
promise. Look at the powder.
that's the same thing that what they used to say about us. You know what I mean? So I don't necessarily, because I remember I
Yeah.
remember how they treated us. They was spelling doom and damnation to us,
Yeah,
and we
we still
made it
got it
through.
bad.
You know what I
We
mean?
did. We
Like,
came out.
and there's a lot of young folks, like some of these young people. I ain't even gonna hold you. Like my
Hmm.
daughter impresses me because she's more courageous than I
Yeah.
was.
Yep.
You know what I
That
mean?
part.
Like,
That part. That's the
she's
part
more
I agree.
informed about things
Hmm.
that's going on in the world than I was.
Yeah.
Like, she's willing, hey, she's willing to use her voice to stand up and be like, hey, look, the whole George Floyd thing made
Hmm.
me look at her in a completely different other light, because she was
Wow.
like, oh, I want to go protest and everything. Like
Yeah.
she was more upset than I was, and I was upset.
Mm.
And
Yeah,
she
me
was
too.
like, you know,
When we was
so
younger, we had, we had our what was his name? The one for California that got beat because we protested too.
oh, you talking about Rodney?
Rodney King, yeah, that was
Yeah.
my. That I walked over the Brooklyn Bridge to City Hall for him. We
Mhm.
all left school. It was like we were seniors and we left
Right.
school, and that's probably the most courageous thing I did for somebody else not directly with me. But what you're
Affiliated
saying,
with you, right?
yeah, what you're saying
Yeah.
is absolutely true. That's one thing I'll say about the millennials down, the
Mhm.
millennials, right, and then a little bit
Mhm.
of the Gen Zs is that they had the wherewithal to go forth and start businesses and
Mhm.
say no and speak up. And I remember one
Right.
time, if you go from our grandmother to our mother to our father's era up to us, they were just existing, right? They
Yeah.
were trying to,
Mm.
they were thriving, but they didn't have a lot of knowledge because it just like my grandma just came out of that slavery era or that segregation era, and then my
Mhm.
mother got a piece of it, so she still was fearful, and then it was taught to us to pick up whatever job you can get because according to if my grandmother taught it to us, we only could do factory jobs, warehouse jobs, and be a maid or
Right.
somebody or watch somebody some
Be
white tea
labor to somebody.
person's
Yep.
kid,
Mhm.
right?
Right.
Then
Yeah.
we came along. I was like, I don't believe in the superstition stuff. I don't
Mhm.
believe that I'm only just gonna be somebody's baby mother. I
Mhm.
wanted to go to college. I wanted to get out the projects because to me, the projects for me and my family, it led to like if I'm on this drug or drink this, I'm be on drugs and my life is gonna go
Mhm.
downhill. So I had a little bit of push, but not as much as these kids do. So I do
Yeah.
agree with them. They are very, very bold, but
They're
they
bold
got a
about
lot of
this.
disrespect with it too. So it's like they don't have
Yeah.
a balance. So it's like a catch
Yeah.
22 to a certain.
It is a
Yeah,
catch-22
mm,
situation. I agree
yeah,
1000%. Like
yeah.
on one
Because they need to know
hand,
when to shut up.
yeah, that
Sometimes.
part right there,
Yeah, because they express
that
it
part
too
right there,
much.
they're extremely too expressive. So it's like you
Mm-hmm.
go, the pendulum swings all the way
All
this
the
way
way
and
over.
all the way this way,
Right,
but
ain't
it
no middle.
never no middle. Yeah,
No, not with them. It's
yeah,
they extremely this way, extremely that way.
yeah.
And then I also know that the reason why is that is because those are our kids. So guess
Hmm.
what?
We
We
taught
were
them that.
traumatized because we
Hmm.
didn't have a voice. We weren't
Hmm.
allowed to not. So it was told if we try to say no, this is not happening. We were talking back. So
Hmm.
it wasn't,
Yeah.
hey, I'm trying to tell you something. I know I'm a kid, but I do understand what happened. And said cousin or uncle is lying on me. I didn't do
Hmm.
that, but because they're an adult, I can't call an
You
adult a
can't say they
liar.
lying.
So
Yep.
we didn't have to speak up. We didn't have
Hmm.
the protection.
Hmm.
We had to respect every adult, whether they were
Hmm.
mean or not. So
Hmm.
you didn't get to tell your mother, hey, such did this or whatever, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
These kids now we was traumatized. We said, I'm gonna let my kid express themselves. But we
Hmm.
didn't we gave them too much expression. Now they talking
Yes.
back to us when they don't know how to not talk back or listen. And that's
Right.
the problem. And now those kids have kids and now they don't gotta say ma'am. They don't have to
Hmm.
say thank you. They call
Hmm.
an older person by their first name.
Hmm.
So it's like the traditional of the tradition that our grandparents set in us.
Hmm.
We dabbled a little bit in our millennial kids, and then like my son millennial now his kids, he's very on them because he had my grandmother, so his
Right.
great grandmother was on him, so he know that not talking back and stuff. He
Hmm.
tried with me, but he know he could be 50 and try. It's gonna be a problem.
Right. Right.
And
Right.
now because so now what happens is he know he can't talk back to me because I gave him space to speak. But for
Hmm.
me, I didn't have space. So guess what I do? I'm trauma and triggered, triggered.
Hmm.
I'll be talking back to my mother crazy. I can say that
Hmm.
because I'm 49. So you're not gonna talk to me crazy no more. You don't have that
Right.
over me. And again, I don't have the balance because I was shut down so much. So now I'm
Right.
like, might call her by first name, but when I'm saying it, I'm leaning it like this, like, oh, she gonna hit me, like, oh god.
Right. Right. Still
But
on
yeah,
guard. Right.
right. It's still like on guard. Is that because one day the other day she was here and we were going at it, and she just be saying stuff, and I'm like, I'm not a kid no more. So now
Hmm.
I get you get in that little kid space because it take you back to whatever little abuse or whatever you
Yeah.
went through, and then you
Yeah.
kind of like freeze up. Yo, wait a minute, I'm grown. But you
Right.
can't do that to me no more. You start going, "Rrr," and you go,
Right.
wait a minute, and then she's like, you talking about your mother? I go, and I'm your daughter. You created me. So that's why I think how the generations lose it, because there's no more real grandmothers anymore. The
See, I
grandmothers
think
want to
that
party with the kids.
that part right there, there it is. I was just
Yeah.
about to go there. I was
Mhm.
going to go there because part of the reason why they're not respecting us the way that we feel that they should be respecting us is
Mhm.
because we're not training them to respect us the way that we were trained. Now,
That we were
you
trained.
know,
It was
like there was
overboard.
there
It was
was
a
there
lot.
was it was
Yeah.
overboard,
Mhm.
but it still trains you to a certain extent. What
Yeah.
happens is that these old these people like that's my age
Mhm.
or a little bit older than us or whatever, what they're saying to the young adults is that don't call me Miss So and So.
Yeah. Because I don't sound old.
Right, that sound like my mama, or what I mean,
Well,
or my
yeah.
grandma. You
So
know what I mean?
now
So
now you feeling away because
so
it make you
so
feel old, but you taking
right,
away the respect from the kids.
right, and people don't want to gracefully say that, you know what, I'm older. You know what I mean? They don't want to. They don't.
Right.
That older thing now comes where it used to come with respect and
And honor.
authority
And
and
honor.
honor.
Mhm.
Now it's coming with a negative connotation, like, oh, you need to be sitting down somewhere.
Yeah, I
You
ain't
know
gonna
what I
lie.
mean?
I want my grandkids to call me grandma and nana. They call me Gigi. So
You know
I
what I'm
guess
saying?
I mean,
So,
I'm a young mother, and my kid is 32. So I'm only 49. So y'all was like, wait a minute, hold on,
I
Gigi
get it,
fine
but
for
but
now.
that's where it comes at. You know what I mean?
You can
Because
say I'm talking
the,
about grandmother, but just don't call me that.
but see, that's where that's where it comes. That's
Yeah.
the dynamics now, because it's not just you. You know what I mean? That feels that way. It's other
Mhm.
people that's feeling
Yeah.
that way, but they take it just a little bit
Mm,
further than
yeah.
even
True.
you would take it. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
true. Yeah, because
So
I still
now,
give the respect still got to be there. Like my
right?
god kids, I have god kids, so you know how it is. It's like everybody, if your mother had a best friend, and the
Mm-hmm.
best friend had kids, and y'all all hang out together, that lady was either your godmother or your aunt. And
Right.
then you had a bunch of cousins that wasn't related to you, or you had a bunch of god sisters and god brothers, because that's how
Mm-hmm.
we kept that external family within the
Right.
black community. So now
Yeah.
these kids of mine, because I have a lot of god kids, some of them call me god mommy, god mom, whatever. These older ones think they're gonna call
Mm-hmm.
me by my first name, and I go, you're gonna either
Mm-hmm.
put Miss Shauna or
Mm-hmm.
Auntie on it or something. You're not gonna say Shauna. So now when
Right.
they still do it, I just ignore them.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yep.
said, if I'm Shauna, you can't get my money no more. How about
Right.
that?
Right.
So, but
Right.
their mothers didn't teach them that because of the trauma of what they went through before. Like, I'm not gonna have my kids. I'm not gonna make my kids go with nobody they don't want to go with. I'm not gonna make my
Mm-hmm.
kids call people something that they don't want to be called. But
Mm-hmm.
because that's a trauma of, because we went through it. We didn't have a
Mm-hmm.
choice. But there's a way of implementing that to your kids, that they
To
still
kids.
keep the respect that this is an adult.
Yeah.
So when you
The-
put your kids on the same level as an adult, when they go into the workplace, they're talking back
Mm-hmm.
to their boss. They yelling because they mother let them do it at home. So now it's like, well, I
Right.
yell at my mother, I'm damn sure gonna yell at you.
Right.
And look what's going
It's
on. They getting fired. Kids can't keep jobs.
can't keep them. And see that what I told all three of mine was, I always want you to have a voice. I
Of
always
course.
want you to be able to speak to me
Right.
about anything, as long as you do it respectfully.
Respectfully. That
And
part.
I said,
Yes.
I don't ever want you to argue with any adult.
Right.
I don't want you to agree with them, but I don't want you to argue with them either.
Right.
If
Right.
there's an issue that needs to be addressed, you
Come to
come
me.
holler at me.
Cause I'm gonna fix it.
I'll have the conversation with an adult. You
Real
don't have
bad.
the you know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like,
Right.
let me pick that. Let me get that down.
Exactly.
Let me
Yeah.
hold that. You know what I mean? You
Well,
don't
that's
you
the
don't need
right
to
way.
hold that.
That is
You
definitely the
know?
right way to do it. But again, that's not implemented a lot in the
Hmm.
households, right? It's just saying you get to speak, and it's like, well, okay, because you didn't teach them what the clause is, and
Hmm.
where the barrier, the
Cause and
boundaries
effects
stop.
is right,
No, they're like, I'm talking to everybody like this.
right.
Everybody. No.
And then,
Mm-mm.
but then you find out that this world is not as nice. They're not as and not as
Nope.
gracious as
At
you
all.
are. You know what I mean?
Nope. So
And
it's
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 sad.
flop. Mm-hmm.
It's sad because I think that there's a lot of there's so much that we can learn, that there's a lot that a lot of people can learn,
Right.
just from learning about themselves and why they maneuver through life a
The
certain
way
way.
the way they
Because if
did.
you understand why you maneuver through life a
Right.
certain way, then you can see certain things. Okay, I normally I would respond this way,
Mm-hmm.
but because I know why I responded, I'm gonna choose to do something different.
Right.
You know,
Right.
but
Yeah.
it's
Right.
it's being true to your own self, and that's the biggest thing that I say to anybody: to thine own self be true.
Be true.
Be If you're gonna lie to anybody in this world, okay, whatever. You know what I mean? That's
Right.
your
Don't lie to
choice to do,
yourself.
but don't lie to you.
Lie to you.
Look that
Right.
person in the and look that person
In
in the
that
mirror
mirror.
in the face, and tell it
Man in the
the
mirror, Michael
truth it
Jackson.
deserves. You know
Right.
what I'm saying?
Put the
Tell it
song on
that
in the background
right.
and go to
Tell it
your
the truth it
mirror.
deserves. Like
Right. Man in the mirror is for you.
for you.
For you.
And it's soul cleansing. Like it
Oh.
really is. Like it is soul cleansing. I didn't realize how badly I needed therapy until I was in therapy.
What you go, that's why I'm acting like that?
You know what I'm
You
saying?
was
I
like,
didn't
that's what it's
realize how
for?
bad. Like, oh, makes perfect sense.
How about going to
Makes sense why I
therapy
was,
and you studying psychology? How about that? Now
you
you
know?
all messed up. I'm walking. Yes, I had a moment again. I'm sorry. My mother was in here just going back and forth. I said, "You're not gonna manipulate me. You're trying to gas. You're gaslighting me. You're not gonna do. You've been doing this since I was 10. You're not doing that anymore." Yo, I had a big girl, little girl experience in here. I was mad. I said, that's gaslighting. That's manipulation. You're not doing that to me anymore. If you
you
don't care,
know?
I don't care. Man, I was like, I'm tearing up because it's like I had a breakdown because you don't know how suppressed I was
Right.
by whatever was going on in my with my mom and my family. And now you older,
Hmm.
you hear, your therapist pulling, so you like, dang, I didn't even know that.
Right.
But I
Right.
had a moment. I was like, today she gonna know.
She gonna get this work.
She gonna get this. And I'm gonna tell my therapist, I screamed at my mother today, but I felt good and liberated. She's a manipulator.
You
You don't
know?
do that to me no more. You want some breakfast?
not, not you, not you had the Joe Clark moment.
Sure did. When I cooked
You had the Joe
breakfast, the
Clark.
whole day. We
You
made
think you
cakes and
bad, don't
everything.
you?
I cooked the rasta pasta. We made banana pudding pie. We had a whole day. It was her birthday weekend. I'm sorry. Oh God, I'm crying right now. That is too funny.
That's funny. That
But
is
like you said, you don't
hilarious.
know you need therapy until you go, and then you
Until
have
you in
moments
there.
like this, and now you realize what's going on. So now,
Yeah.
when that certain person that you talked about starts doing stuff, you didn't know what you didn't have a name or a voice. You got a voice now.
Hmm. Yeah.
So I
Definitely.
definitely agree. Definitely. I'm definitely getting
Definitely.
back into getting myself back into it because as a life coach, you take on a lot of people's energy
Yes,
and there's
you
stuff that
do.
you gotta release it to somebody too because
Yeah.
they say life coaches and therapists need the same treatment and it's true
Yeah.
and it's
Yeah.
very very true because God knows
Definitely.
these girls be who Jesus Christ. I love them,
Yeah. It's
but they
very
need the work.
tough. It's
Yeah.
tough being an empath.
Mhm.
It's an extremely tough job.
Yeah.
Um, and if you don't unpack, you will be laden down with a whole lot of other people's
Yeah.
burdens.
That is true.
So I
That is
agree.
true. Yeah,
I
that is
agree
true.
with you.
But we definitely we are on our way.
Yes,
We are on
definitely.
our way.
I'm encouraged though.
I'm
I'm not gonna
excited.
lie to you.
I'm
I'm
excited.
encouraged. Because I see just as much as I see people that's having these negative conversations or whatever.
Yeah.
I see more people engaging in positive conversations as well,
Yes. Yeah.
which
And
is
that's what we
something
try to stay into. Yeah.
correct.
Mhm.
Like I see more people trying to give positive energy and positive feedback and positive affirmations and things of that
Yes.
nature, and I do. So as much as the negative the negative gets more of the publicity,
Yeah.
but I do see that the positives are,
Yeah, it's
they're
slowly. It's a
sprouting
slow
up.
burn. It's a slow
Yeah,
burn. Yeah,
they're
and I
sprouting
and I
up here and there.
yeah, and that's why when I came, because you remember when we first started, we so like our like groups we was in, we would laugh and joke, and the vibes was amazing. And then sometimes we had little deep moments where a lot of us were a little vulnerable with certain things, giving a piece
Hmm.
of ourselves, and then some TikTok friendships went left and up,
Yeah.
and now you like, okay, we in the room, but it's weird.
Right.
And but for the
Yeah.
most part, then you go into the rooms that are positive, you notice that the 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 views are low, but it's
Hmm.
very warm and inviting in the room. And then the
Right.
ones that are toxic, they have tens of thousands of people, because like, so you really want to hear toxicity? Like, don't get me
Yeah.
wrong, when they have these little TikTok drama things going on, like the big TikTokers
Hmm.
that's on there, and
Hmm.
I go, and you start going down the rabbit hole, finding out where did it start, and then by the time you finish, you got a headache. Now
Right.
you mad at somebody you don't even know.
You ain't even know, and that's the crazy. But with our society, unfortunately, drama sells.
Drama
The more
sells.
dramatic, the more dramatic something is,
Mm-hmm.
the more it attracts eyes. It's like people are just waiting to see the car crash. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Or
Or
pass or
they're,
see the accident and still
yeah,
turning around,
they
hoping
turn
that they're gonna
this
see
way,
something. Right.
right? when
I
when
guess
the
it's just
road is
human
ahead of
nature.
you, the
Right.
road ahead of you is completely free, but you all over here because you want to
Because
see
you
the
want to see
accident. They ain't
something.
got
Right.
nothing to do with you.
Nothing to do with you, but you about to cause another one because
Right.
or you holding up traffic because it ain't nobody in front of you, but you just want to see something. But you want to see a fender bender, but like, get out.
Yeah. Yeah.
You want to help? Come on,
That
man.
part. That part.
Even me being in the medical field, I look to hope that but if I see some flashing lights, I'll keep going.
Right.
No, now if somebody's on the
They.
road, on the side of the road by themselves, and I see it, and I have a duty to
That's a
act,
difference.
I don't
Yeah.
have
That's a
no choice.
difference right
But
there.
I'm not
Against
looking at no
America.
accident.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, mm-mm.
Yeah.
I see them up front. I'm good. But
Right.
that's that human nature, I guess. Just the awe of something, like, oh snap, and you could have
Hmm.
go down the same road every day and see an accident every time, and you still gonna do the same thing. You still not gonna be
Right.
like, oh, okay. No, you're not gonna do that. You're gonna still look
Right.
the same way as if you've never seen it before.
Right. Very
So
true.
so there's certain things, like, I believe that as humans that we're never really gonna fully stop doing or be intrigued by or drawn
Hmm.
into. But
Hmm.
again, it takes a conscious mind to be able to resist certain things. Because go ahead.
I would say that, just a little pushback on that because it's like our conversation earlier about stagnation. So,
Mm-hmm.
like, when you want to do better and then you actively seek to do better, because see, I was when I was younger, was the type that, oh, I like the dramatic girl, like the dramatic girl. Oh,
The
that's my
toxic girl.
girl. You know what I
Right.
mean. I'm drawn to her.
That's still a thing though.
Right, but that's not me anymore. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
so when I decided, again, once I, got to learn who I am and the things that
Yeah.
was causing certain things or whatever else like that, I stopped looking at the dramatic girl, because the dramatic girl is not going to bring me peace.
Right.
Or
Or
she's going
whatever
to
the excitement
disturb.
is. Right.
Right, she's going to disturb my peace. I don't need that type of excitement in
Now
my life.
imagine that now, both of us on both sides, like the toxic guy, or for me the thug guy, the drug dealer guy, whatever.
Hmm.
We were in love and doing everything, and now you ain't
Right,
realize how disturbed you were
you
in
were.
that relationship,
Yeah, yeah.
hiding and 15,000 calls and then and
Right.
then and then it goes, okay, so now this person is showing what we think is love. Oh, he jealous.
Hmm.
Oh, she this. Oh, she breaking my stuff up. But you're like, wait a minute. When you get older, you go, that was an abusive relationship I was in. What was I thinking? Now, if you raise your voice or put your arm up to stretch, I might have to leave.
I
You be
got.
like, wait, you want to hit me? Hold on, because I ain't never. Oh, you stretching? Okay, do that slow next
Okay,
time.
right, right, right. You know what I mean?
She about to sing. You think she about to
You
yell?
about
You like,
to
wait a minute.
like
What you doing?
you about to affect
Yeah,
my
right.
twitch.
Hold on, you making too many swift moves, ma'am, sir.
Right.
Mm-mm.
Subtleness is good
Subtle,
around
yes.
me. You know what I
Slow,
mean?
slow. no false
I'm
moves.
trying
Come
to
on.
I'm trying to tell you. Don't holler. Who you hollering at?
Right. That's loud. I'll be like, comply. Let me turn your mic down. You yelling at me.
Right,
So what?
right. Inside voice. We use our
Inside voice,
inside voice
right?
around here.
Like Martin would say, surround sound. What's wrong? Surround sound.
I'm trying
What's
to
wrong?
tell you.
But
But
then you don't know until you out, right? You know.
right, right. And that's what I when I'm in a lot of panels is that I tell a lot of people you got to have a certain amount of understanding and grace with certain people
Yeah.
because not everybody is afforded certain resources or
Right.
their environment is not conducive to growth
Yeah.
because it's hard for a flower to grow in a rocky situation. Like you don't see a lot of roses on mountains, you know what I
No.
mean, because
No.
it's not conducive to
No
growth.
lilies, none of that.
So
And
yeah,
the atmosphere is just not up there
it's
for them.
just not
It's
it's
too
not going to
cold.
allow for it. Right, it's not going to
Yeah.
allow for it to happen. So with that being said, like you have to allow that, what, because of lack of resources, because
Yeah.
of lack of awareness, understanding, some people they just never been told. Like
Right.
when you are completely ignorant to the fact that the world is such a larger place than where you live.
Right.
Because
Right.
just think about how many people we know being from New York, right? Think
Hmm.
about how many people we know from New York that has never left the boroughs,
I
and
know
they'll
some right
they'll
now that ain't really
readily
never
admit
left
it
the
to you.
state. Right.
Never left.
And
You know what I
okay
mean?
with it.
And
And all
cool
right.
with it. You know,
And there's so much more
and
out there.
and there's so much more out there that they just never even thought about exploring or whatever the case may be.
Hmm.
So when you hear certain things on on these lives and stuff, hindsight is always 2020. So
20.
I can always look back and say, oh yeah, I remember when. But when you were going through it,
When you're going
couldn't
through
nobody have told you that what
nothing.
you were
Nope.
going through was wrong? You know what I
Nope.
mean?
Or
Because
that you could come out of it.
you could come out of it.
But that's another thing, like what you just said about. Oh, so I have a friend. So I was, which I'll tell you about later. But I'm
Hmm.
planning a 50th birthday for me next year to
Hmm.
go to Aruba. So there's
Hmm.
a couple of friends that that I'm telling and getting my list together and everything now. So one of my
Right.
friends, I was like, oh yeah, I'm going to Aruba for my birthday, blah blah. He's like, oh, it's a plane. I was like, Aruba's not here.
You can't drive to
You can't
Aruba.
drive to Aruba. Yes, it's a plane. You gotta get a passport. Oh no, I'm not getting on a plane. I'm not. I go. It's 4 hours out right there. I ain't going to California. I ain't going to Miami. Anything that require a plane or a passport, anything to leave outside of Brooklyn, this person not doing.
That's
It's
crazy.
tooth and nail
That's
just for them to
wild.
go to Pennsylvania on the bus to see their child,
That's wild.
and they okay with that. And I go,
Yeah.
okay, I get you. You know, you a thug. You don't want to say you really scared. You don't want to say that, but you're
Right.
you're
But
you're
you
doing yourself
scared?
a disservice.
Mm-hmm.
There's so
Yeah.
much more out there, and I ain't gonna. I'm gonna say I'm the first one to let you know that I am not a fan of planes. But I
Mm-hmm.
say to myself, I go, Lord, if this is how I'm going out, then it's already
Mm-hmm.
written. There's nothing I can do about it.
Then
So let
ain't
me get
nothing you
on
can
this
do.
plane
Yeah.
and just go ahead. And if it's not my time, it ain't my time. That's how I feel.
Right.
Because
Yep.
I'm not going to hold myself back anymore. And it goes back to what you were
Yeah.
saying about the millennials versus us versus our parents. We weren't because we were raised with fear.
Yeah.
And
Right.
fear would just like even the Bible would say fear God, but then when you realize it wasn't fear, it was like to respect him. But in
Mm-hmm.
our sense, when they taught us to respect, it came with a beating, it came with some type of
Right.
rough discipline.
Right.
And it made us really fearful for a lot of things,
Mm-hmm.
not just our family, but just anybody going for it. For me anyway. So
Yeah.
I realized that a lot of things that I was fearful of made me fearful of more things in my life, and
In your life.
taking
Yeah.
chances,
Yeah.
leaving a job you don't like,
Yeah.
talking to somebody, a guy that you may like, and then you like, oh, women don't talk to men first. You missing the opportunity. So missed
Right.
opportunities was a lot of people, and I'm saying it to y'all, you're listening. Missed opportunities is always wrapped around fear.
Mm-hmm.
or it's also wrapped around what's the saying? I want to get it wrong. It says that is it complacency, or it was saying
Yes.
some along the lines of that you are conceited to think that you actually have another day to do what you're supposed to do today, something along the line
Mm.
like that. Like
Right.
I forgot who said it. I think it's somebody Churchill, but he was saying that
Mm.
conceit is the fact that you're so conceited that you think you actually have another day to do what you're supposed to do today,
Right.
and you like,
I
wow, like
I
you thought
agree.
that you really thought like, oh, I'll do it tomorrow. You may not wake up.
Right.
So
And that the audacity of you to feel like, you know
right,
what, you're guaranteed to get this opportunity. Like, and
right.
that's one of the things that I I'm really big on when I was speaking to a panel in regards to that. It's like, you
Mhm.
know, if in my view, if you are a woman that wants whomever,
Mhm.
go get it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because if you get your happiness out of it, then who's to say that the way you got your happiness is wrong?
Got you.
And
Right.
if they say it's wrong, why do you care?
Why do you care?
Because you're
Right.
happy. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Right.
Just the same way with men. If you feel like, you know, this is what you got to do in order for you to go get, it may not work for anybody else.
Right.
But if it works for you,
If it works for you.
and that's the end result is it worked for you
Right.
and you got what you wanted,
Mhm.
then who cares what
And who
anybody else
cares?
has to say about that?
But that's a
And
lot of
too
people
many
care.
times,
Care. They care too much.
too many times we allow people's overestimation of their value
Mhm.
cripple us
Yeah.
because just because you just because you say something to me, that doesn't mean I have to respond to you. That is,
Right.
that that's
But
not
some
my
people have
plight
a
in life.
knee jerk reaction that they just feel like, you know. And then here goes back to us being it from the boroughs. We were taught that if you didn't say nothing, then you were punk or you were scared. So you had to
Hmm.
have a clap back. You had to
Hmm.
respond back because being quiet was like, oh, they just sunned you. Oh, he
Hmm.
just told you. She
Right.
just said that to you. And not realizing that I'm boiling in an inside and I know I have too much to lose
Hmm.
to say something. I don't want to go to
Hmm.
jail or get hurt enough to miss my opportunities. So
Right.
but then because you had the peer pressure, you had to say something.
Right.
How many people right
But
now would not be in the grave if they just didn't say something?
if they didn't say anything,
If they
but see,
just
we
didn't
were
say
young
something.
and dumb back then. Now, when you
Had a
with
point to
knowledge
prove.
comes, yeah, with knowledge comes power. So
Yes.
I have the power to walk off from you and leave
Right.
you standing there, and you can
Right.
wonder and think whatever you
Right.
want to.
And I
That
know
ain't
that I'm
my.
not a punk, but I just
You know what I'm
saved you.
saying? Because you ain't right. You ain't
Mm-hmm.
gonna step to me. So yeah, I'm gonna
Exactly.
just walk off and let
Yep.
you have whatever it is that you want to have. But I'm gonna let you know that I, I'm notorious. I'm notoriously bad for walking off on a person. Like if
Oh,
like
like
you
you mean
can,
that you're good? You could do it.
yeah, I could do it. Like
Mm.
no problem whatsoever. Like you could be talking, and if I feel like your conversation isn't
Yeah.
something I want to partake in,
Mm-hmm.
I walk off because I don't
Got you.
owe you anything. I don't, you know what I
Anything.
mean? I don't
Right.
owe you any type of
Right.
energy. I'm not going to and people be like, "That's so disrespectful." No, what
Mm-mm.
would come out of my mouth if I sat there
Right.
is
It's
going to be the
disrespectful.
disrespect. You
And
know
you're
what I mean?
irking me right now. You're
You're
pushing me,
irking me. You're
and I know
irritating me,
me.
and I
Yeah.
that
And
part.
I know me. You don't know that I had to do that the other day at work. That
Mm-hmm.
I my partner was a Karen,
Mm-hmm.
and I have a thing of people approaching me after we just had a bicker, right? So
Mm-hmm.
I don't care if we at work or nothing. Like, don't approach me.
Right.
Like,
Right.
don't come up on me to still asking me questions after we just had the argument or whatever. So long
Right.
story short, that happened, and I was already
Mm-hmm.
up to here with
Mm-hmm.
it, and she approached me. And once I'm
Mm-hmm.
looking at you this way, and I turn and I'm looking at you with my peripheral,
Mm-hmm.
it's not a good place. I'm at work. I'm
Nah.
not outside, and I
Right.
almost lost it. And I told her to stop talking to me. I got up and I walked to my captain's office. I was like, "Look, I gotta go because you're not understanding right now." And I left, and I took me 2 days mental health day
Mm-hmm.
to get myself back together because again, I know me, and there's
Right.
certain things that therapy ain't gonna help. It's
Right.
just who I am,
Right.
and there's some things
Right.
that therapy can only help maintain and keep at
Look,
bay. So
let me tell you.
yeah.
Let me tell you. I went to, I went to anger management class,
Uh-oh.
and they told me anger management. He said if a person walked in here right now and spit in your face or slapped you in your face, what would you do?
What?
And I
What
said,
kind of
well,
question is that?
I said, there, I said, I wouldn't give any thought whatsoever to anger management or to therapy. I'm not gonna, I ain't gonna lie to you.
I'm not even
Like
gonna hold you. We're not doing that.
all of these resources that I have
It went out the
just went out
window.
the window.
Right back in the book. Sorry.
Like
You gonna take the
that's
two extremes? Come on, don't do
man.
that. You
It's
really
like
tested what?
when you don't have any control. You right. I
No.
don't. Like
For
they
that?
just
For
control.
somebody's
Right.
body fluid on me
Yeah.
that I ain't asked for? Come on, sir,
Yeah.
ma'am, sit down. You're not
They
doing
just
that.
control this narrative very well
Yeah,
because
I need another anger management because your anger management just made me angry. I thought we was. Well, why would you try to elevate me? I gotta go. I'm
like
triggered.
you done crossed my
You don't
boundaries.
cross my boundaries. How dare you even
I'm,
say that?
I'm
Punch
trying
me
to
and spit on
look.
me?
I'm trying to tell you.
Come on, come
Like
on.
that man said
Mm-mm.
that. I was just like, man, look.
Made you want to hit him?
They ain't even no point in talking to me. Like you can talk to the rest of the class about the rest of this lesson. You missed me.
Let me tell you something. Somebody that really ain't got control. I'm not even gonna say it. Let me shut up. Cause me, I'd have went. Oh, really? Katui. Tell me how that went. Did I pass?
Right.
Cause now you sit up there with a crock right on your face. Come on. You want as somebody did. I'm the somebody now. Let's see. Don't do that, cause somebody will spit right on you and see how you take it. You ain't got
I
no
can't even
control.
play them type of games. So yeah, I ain't gonna
Yeah,
have.
you not a safe space.
Nah.
That was you ask questions like that. Come on.
Right.
Say somebody stepped on my J's. Ask that.
Right.
Start
Then
little.
that's yeah.
Start
Right.
small. Somebody at the job ate my piece of cake. Start there.
Yeah.
Cause I won't know who did it.
That
But don't
part.
start with somebody I can see doing something bodily wrong to me. You want to ask me that, ma'am? Here your pamphlet back.
Right.
Take your pamphlet. I don't need this.
Right.
This is not the class.
I'm a
You
go
are a
ahead
bad teacher.
like I'm gonna go ahead and pay this court order money that I gotta give you, but
Right. Let me
I ain't
go on
learning nothing.
and get rake these leaves on the community service on the side of the road. Cause this is not working. You
Right.
triggered me and made me angry. Now I gotta call my therapist tonight.
Right.
Cause I want to slap the representative. What?
It's
I
like,
know
man,
you
look,
wrong.
you might as well just go ahead and miss me.
Right.
I don't know what you
Yeah.
even trying
Go
to
talk to Bob.
right.
Bob,
I don't
answer this
even know
question,
what you
Bob.
trying to say after that, but there ain't nothing else to say.
Right. Start
There
getting
ain't nothing
paranoid.
else
You're
to
like, you
say.
got somebody outside that wanna slap me,
Right.
punch you? Like, wait, you go around the corner?
Right,
You
what we
go,
talking
I wish
about
somebody in here would even think about. You like, this is why I'm here. I got
Right.
issues.
Right.
Trying to get a rise out of me.
I'm
That's
I'm
funny.
trying to tell you.
He's like, you can take all this brochure, these pamphlets, everything. You might as well call a judge. Let him know that I am
I've never been
untrainable.
in this building before.
Never been in this building. I ain't even swiping. Take my name off the list. Erase it. Let me get some white out. Excuse me.
Right.
I know you
play
done.
him. You're not gonna play me like that.
Yeah, no. That ain't even. I mean, you really want my honest answer? That's crazy. They really
And
asked you
that's the
that?
thing was like he looked at me like with a earnest like type of you know inquisitive inquisitive look on his face.
Mm-hmm.
Like man,
Like,
you ain't gotta study it that long.
yeah, you don't even. Is that a
Everything
personal
that you
question that
just
you had directed for me only?
everything that you just said, it just went
Everything.
straight. Man, everything. I ain't heard nothing. I ain't never
Right.
been in here before.
At all. You heard the peanut gallery. Womp, 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 womp. Charlie Brown. Sound like the Charlie Brown teacher.
Man, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
That was, it was good while it lasted, I
Right, yeah, you know.
guess.
Well, look at the time.
look look
Ooh,
at this.
look at the time. Ooh, I'm past my
Go ahead.
bedtime.
Go ahead and slam that piano down like old boy on Color Purple.
Right.
Time to go.
Got time to go.
I'm
I
trying to tell
said
you.
fine by me.
Yo, exactly. I'd have had the same. I'd have had the
Right.
same response as Miss Sophia.
Right. She's
You
like,
only
what?
get one.
Well, you get one. That fist was clenching up real quick.
Mm-hmm.
She said, I said fine by me.
Right. You slid all the way across that floor.
Exactly. Comply. We have completed
Always.
our first podcast
Yes, yes,
together.
yes, yes,
Oh,
yes.
we
I
have it.
told
I
you
know
know
we was
what?
all
I
over the
knew
place.
it
I
would
don't
happen
care.
this way.
It
I
had
knew it
to.
would happen this way
It
where,
had
you know
to.
what, we would just
That's that's that's
authentically just
that's
come
it.
vibe off each
That's
other. You
it.
know
And
what I
that's the
mean?
best way to do it. Y'all be
Yeah.
glad that y'all watching us because this is exactly what you're gonna get. This
Yep.
vibing off like we sitting in the house together. And I think
Yep.
that's the best way. We got some great stuff coming. Don't
Yeah,
get it
yeah,
twisted. This
definitely.
was this was the intro to the guests and new guests and hosts, and we are definitely got some great things coming. Great things coming.
Yes, definitely. We
Our
got some good subjects
yeah,
coming for y'all.
our email is male female perspective at gmail.com, and you can ask any questions or any topics
Yeah.
that you want us to talk about, and we
Yeah.
will gladly reply and try to fit it into our schedule. We're trying to try to do one a week or twice a month, right?
Yeah, once a
like
week or
like
twice.
twice a
Yeah, once release once a week.
once every
Yeah.
2 weeks, man, right?
Yeah.
We're
Yeah.
trying.
Yeah.
We're definitely gonna give you at least two a month. No less
Yeah,
than that. Yeah,
definite. That's a
because we both
guarantee.
have
Yeah.
busy schedules, and like I said, you see that we both have very um taxing jobs. So, but we
Hmm.
definitely took the time to fit it in. I just got home from work and fell asleep and woke up to do this to be here before you because we've been working on this for a long time. So we
Yeah,
definitely
we have.
got stuff. Y'all
Definitely.
rock out with us. We guarantee you it's gonna be a great ride. It's gonna be
Definitely.
a great ride.
Definitely.
You have any parting words to say, Comply, before we get out of here?
No, I just say like I tell anybody, um, to thine own self be true. And that means all in all things. Whether that may be mentally, spiritually, physically,
Right,
emotionally. Be true to yourself. Be unapologetically yourself. I'm an unapologetic person. Like I'm
right.
me. You know what I
That's
mean?
it.
You're always
Yep.
going to get this person. I know Shauna. She's unapologetic about who she is, but
That's
she's
right.
staying in it. You know what I mean? And
Love
that's
all of
that.
this.
You know what I mean? And who who better to love you than you?
Who better to love you than you? That is
And
it.
I'll leave right there. Who better to love you
Who
than you?
better than you to love you? Well, y'all, this has been the Male Female Perspective Podcast with your host, Shauna Speaks, and my
Just
dude,
comply.
Just Comply. And you better just do that. Just comply.
Just
Follow us.
comply.
Like the video, comment, y'all. And we see you next week. Have a good night.
See y'all. Have a good one.